Matching colors on a print or a fabric that you're dyeing can be tricky, especially if you're working with a vendor that is not close by, not a vendor that you can just stop by and look physically at the swatches. So, what's been used normally in this situation is Pantone books, which is a great tool. However, there's a couple of things to keep in mind when we talk about and or refer to and work with a Pantone color. The first thing is, unless you and the vendor have the same book, the same Pantone book with the same colors, you'll not be able to be on the same page. And Pantone has different systems of colors. They have for textiles, for different other categories. So you might have a Pantone book, or your vendor might have a Pantone book, but that might not be the same one as yours. Okay? And that creates a gap. The other part is, and the mistake that I see a lot is Pantone books are expensive. So many times designers will go online and find Pantone colors online and decide on their colors just by looking at your screen. That's a mistake because each screen will show the colors, the shades slightly different. You know, every computer, every screen has its own settings of how to show colors. So I can look at the red that looks very vibrant on one screen, and then I'll look at the same Pantone color on a different screen, and it will look dull, it will look darker, the shade will be different, and so on and so on. So you want to make sure that neither you or your vendor is referring just to the screen. You want to make sure that both of you have actual physical color references that you can refer to. So one of the ways that you can work around this is you can look online and find Pantone colors that you like, but then buy just a single chip of that Pantone color. And they usually come in a size like that. So you don't have to buy the whole book. You only buy that one chip, or if you can decide between few colors, you buy just those single colors. It's big enough that you can cut a piece and send it to your vendor and then keep a piece for yourself so you can always check strike offs and lap dips that they send you to make sure that it's the right color. The other thing is, if you don't have that, you can always send actual color from a garment that you have or fabric that you found or any kind of actual physical color reference that your vendor can refer to. Another thing that you want to keep in mind is that when we dye fabrics, the content of the fabric and some other parts of the fabric, how it observes the color, will determine if the colors will look vibrant, how it will take the color, what kind of shade it will give. So sometimes it might be quite hard to get a specific color right on the fabric that you're working with. So many times you want to ask your vendor, if you're hitting a wall with that, you want to ask your vendor to do a range of shades for that color. So again, if I'm looking at a red color and I already have them send a couple of red references for me and we're not on the same page, they're not matching it, I'll give them more feedback and then ask them to do a range of that red shade. So they can give you a few options, especially if it comes to printing and especially when it comes to digital printing. That's very easy to them to do. In many cases, they can actually print a whole chart for you with these little squares, the different shades of these reds, so you can pick the one that's right for you. Now, you want this printed on your fabric, the one that you're going to use, so you can see the actual colors on your print. Same thing goes for dyeing. You want them to dye your actual fabric in different shades, send you the different shades, and then you can pick from them.